to 1 count of robbery, a felony of the 3rd degree, and 1 count of aggravated assault, a felony of the 4th degree. At that time, a pre-sentence report, psychological evaluation, and victim impact statement were ordered. The state's understanding that the evaluations as well as the victim impact letter have been completed and provided to the court, and that all parties are prepared to proceed with sentencing at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gaziel?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, Ms. Jordan is 37 years old. This is her first and only adult criminal conviction. Prior to being arrested on this case, she had never been to jail. She did spend 3 days in the jail at the outset of this case, and that was an experience that allowed her to really reflect and fully realize the nature of her situation. She has expressed to me numerous times in conversations that if she could go back in time and do things differently, she would. She was overwhelmed at the time of this situation when the vehicle repossession occurred, and she realized that that had happened. She felt surprised by that situation, and unfortunately she handled it in a very inappropriate manner. She acted based on emotion. She did not handle it appropriately. She recognizes that. She is remorseful about what she has done here. She recognizes there are the need for consequences. I am asking the court to impose community-controlled sanctions in this matter, and I would ask the court to consider the jail diversion program as part of those sanctions. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Jordan, what do you want to tell me before I impose sentence?
I shouldn't be here. That's what's supposed to happen like this. And I am most definitely sorry. Like, I just not supposed to be here. Me and him never had an argument. We never had a disagreement. I was surprised. I wasn't even sure if he took my vehicle. I never hit him intentionally. I never, when the car was moving, he jumped in front of it. I was so worried. I called the police before I even knew the police was gone. My intentions wasn't angry when I went there. I was hurt. Like, why would he do this? I understood his problems on the delay of him fixing my vehicle for a whole year. He understood my problems due to my health issues. We always came to a solution with any situation we had. So I'm really like baffled with that. I'm going through this. I just have no understanding to it. He know my whole situation. He told me his personal problems. I even offered to help this man when I have 4 kids of my own and I'm struggling. I offered to help him with his bills. And I don't understand why he wants everything from me. Why you want more money from me? Why you want me away from my children? I don't understand it. I'm sorry for what I did. He know what he should know. I would never intentionally hurt him. I even didn't go to court. I never pressed charges on no one from breaking into my garage. I'm overwhelmed with life. I was overwhelmed with life before. He knows that we talk to each other about each other's life. So why is she hating me so much? I don't get it. I don't get it. I even offered, if you want me to work for you, do something for you, I have no money to give you. You know that because I worked hard to get the $2,000 for you for the engine. After you told me you wasn't going to charge me. But when you said you wanted $2,000, I went out there in pain. I wake up in pain every day. I go to sleep in pain every day. But I made sure I paid you and offered to get extra money for you. I was there for you, you know, and I thought we were understanding each other. So for you to hate me and want this much from me, I got a felony. It's not much I can do with life.
Well, but you bought a car, you thought it was under certain terms, but there was a dispute. between you and he about the terms, about the repairs, about the money, right? Okay. It's not why we're here, right? I mean, that's a dispute. You should have went to Willoughby Court and settled in Willoughby Court, okay? Now, your car got repossessed from your home, ended up at his place of business, and you went there to get the car, right?
Yes.
You were going to get the car back.
Without remembering the title was not
Okay.
in my name, regardless of if I paid it off or not.
All right, and didn't you tell him that you just wanted to get some items out of the car?
No, I didn't say anything. We
Okay.
didn't even argue. They were yelling and screaming. I was just...
All right. So, you went there to get the car. Did you tell him you were going to take the car?
I didn't.
You did?
No,
No.
I did not.
Okay, because you knew that he
didn't say.
repossessed it, right?
I didn't know it was up for repo. I
Okay.
did not know.
How did you
anything.
find out it was back at his place of business?
I didn't know.
Then why did you go there?
I
You
didn't know because no one comes to my house. It's just me and my 4 children. The car is missing. The last time I spoke to him was when he came up with another price of $1,300,
Okay.
and I said, I just gave you $1,000, and you said all
Right.
I need to give you was $135.
But
so
regard-
I
but reg-
assumed it was there.
Okay, so you didn't call him when the car was missing?
I went up there and I seen that the car was
Okay,
there.
and how did you get there?
My son dropped me off.
Okay,
Well, my son rode with the guy that dropped me off.
okay. And you went there with a key, right?
Yes.
Because you were going to take the car. When you went to take the car, what vehicles did you hit in order to try to get the car out of the lot?
Honestly, once I got in the vehicle and pulled off, they say I hit vehicles. There was no vehicle in
I want to
front
know
of me.
I want to know what you remember. Okay.
I do not remember hitting the vehicle. I remember going straight forward, and I remember as I was going forward, he jumped in front of a car. And when he jumped in front of the car, as I made the turn, I called Willoughby Police. And I said, I'm not sure. I know what I did. I did something wrong. And I'm sure it's recorded because I was talking to dispatch. I said, I did something wrong. I took my car, not thinking that the title was not in my name, which means it's not my car. But I took my car that I purchased off of this guy's lot. And she said, where are you? Is this Chanel? She automatically knew who I was. She said, is this Chanel? I said, yes. She said, can you come here? Where are you going? I said, I'm going home. I'm scared now. I don't know what to do. I got kids. This not supposed to happen. My mind's going everywhere now. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what I did was wrong. I wasn't even thinking like, oh my God, this title's not in my name. It's not my car. In my head, it's like, this is my car. How can you steal my car out my garage? That's illegal. And once they came and got me and explained
Right,
to me.
if you believed it was illegal to have that car taken from your garage, why didn't you call the Cleveland Heights Police?
No, that was after. I wasn't thinking of none of that.
Well-
At that time, I'm overwhelmed. I'm a single mother. I'm in pain all the time. He knows my issues. He knows why he was trying to help me because he had sympathy for me as well as I had sympathy for him. He said, okay, I understand. You got kids. I'm going to get this done. I said, okay, thank you. That's why I was patient with him. Me and I had a great relationship and understanding.
Okay, but obviously, when the car was repossessed, you didn't have the great relationship you thought you had, right? Okay, so, but then, what's pertinent here is what happens after that car gets repossessed. Not what happened before and who said what about the money.
I wasn't angry. I think I was more so hurt. Like, how
Okay.
can you take my car?
All right.
But in reality, because I didn't get the title switched over, it wasn't my car. And he was able to do that.
Well, you owed him, I'll get into the finances a little bit, although they don't matter, but you bought the car, you financed part of it, right? You still owed him money.
I didn't finance
Okay,
anything.
all right.
I didn't finance the car.
What else do you want to tell me?
I would settle for whatever else. I just want to be with my kids. My kids, I don't have family like that. I don't have that support. He knows that. He knows everything. And my kids devastated right now. My son just dropped me off. And he's like, Mom, I can't believe that you're going to jail. No, my kids are good kids. I don't have bad kids. I don't have kids out here doing things, hurting people. I raised my kids by myself at a young age, and they're great kids. And just know that they've been taken away from their mom. I had that support. I grew up in front of my dad. I would do anything else. I just want to be able to still care for it. Anything else you give me, I'm willing to go for it, whether it's for 20 years. I just want to be with my kids. Anything to pay him back fines. I can work. I can work as much as I can. If that's what it takes. I just want to be with my children. I can take whatever else. I just don't want to be taken away from my children. He know how much they mean to me. That was the reason of me purchasing that vehicle. That was the reason. I had 2 other vehicles. They were cars. I have 4 children. I have an 18-year-old son who didn't go to college because of his case. Because my son, his life on pause because of me. He paying bills because I can't pay them. He needs my kids because I can't. I want to be home.
Ms. Cutts?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Babick and his wife are both present in court today and would like to address the court.
Hi, Your Honor. My name is Robert Babick. I've been in business for 23 years, and I've never seen anything like it in my life for in a business. I told every customer that we disagree with any decision, they can take, like you said, small claim court, whatever they like. She tried killing me in the car. She tried running me over. My son was right behind me, and he was stating. So she can imagine anybody else how my son was feeling, where she was stating that she tried running me over. She tried killing me in the car. And there were witnesses across the street that were running through. Also, she was driving away. She was, I believe, I'm not sure, she was in a car with her daughter. As they were driving away, she was laughing in the car with her daughter. She has no remorse. She had no any kind of regrets. I've been married for 30 years. I've got 4 kids. I've never seen anything like it in my life. That someone's going to use a car to kill someone. My personal belief is that she should never have a driving license again. Never. And that she should go. It's up to the court to impose the sanctions on her, punishment. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I mean, I'm happy to be here today. Like I said, she almost killed us. She was looking to kill us. Thank you.
Claudia Babick. I originally just came to be with my husband, but I also have 4 children. Your actions that day could have changed my life. My son, who helped out at the dealership on Saturday, you're saying your son, your 18-year-old, is paying the bill. What would have happened to my son? Seeing you, if my husband didn't react in the situation as quickly as he did, for him to move out, he would have went and ran him over. You had no remorse. I have 4 children. My son takes it. What do you think this would do? That video of their father being run over by you was sent to all 4 of us. Do you know what kind of shock you did to my children? You can sit there and cry, but you almost changed my life because of your actions. A car is a car. My husband has been in business for 23 years. This has never. And if someone does hit somebody, don't you stop? Don't you realize you had another person in the car? You thought that was a joyride. The car did not belong to you. You knew you were coming there to get the car because you did not have your ride wait for you. You went in that car, you smashed other property, and you sped off. That moment, you could have changed my whole family's life. That's it, Your Honor. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. As you know, in this incident,
Well, can I get back to Mr. Babick real quick?
Yes.
I got your victim impact statement. There, you have two things listed for the Traverse. You've got just 2009 Traverse, $2,005.61. What does that represent?
So I just put all the bills that the customer didn't pay, plus I think it was a towing and everything, all the
Okay.
expenses for the car.
All right, and then the other one was the damage to it from the incident, $5,400?
Well, that's the damage on the land about insurance. correct?
Okay, all right, thank you.
And there was also key, I think, 06.
Yeah, I got those. Those were the only two questions I had about that. All right, go ahead, Ms. Coates.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I know the court is aware of a lot of the details of this case. I won't go through all of them, but I do think we have obviously focused on the physical harm, the concern, the psychological harm to the human being, which is obviously the most important aspect. I think the Babick family is obviously very happy that Mr. Babick had not more extensive injuries. He was struck by the car. There is a video recording of it showing. He did have a mark on his back. He did not get medical attention that day, partially because he had a wedding to go to in a few hours of some people who are important to him and did not wish to miss that. There's also the economic harm. So in addition to the fact of taking the vehicle, when the defendant took the vehicle, she struck a trailer. The car had been, Mr. Babick had made sure it was surrounded by other vehicles, couldn't take it. However, she drove into a trailer and damaged that. She drove into the Kia that was mentioned, sideswiped that, doing extensive damage. It wasn't a small scrape. My understanding is the vehicle was actually moved over a couple feet by the impact. The Traverse itself that she took was also damaged in the striking of those objects, as well as striking Mr. Babick. So all of those are obviously very serious. The amount of damages, the court has the victim impact statement, but it was thousands of dollars for the objects, let alone the stress and harm that was done to the family and the individuals. In addition to Mr. Babick's son being there, a salesperson also saw what occurred, and then others who were in the area saw. Obviously, the relationship with Mr. Babick facilitated it. She had a key to the vehicle, so she was able to, when she went into the vehicle, to actually state the understanding that the key was not turned back over when the car was eventually repossessed and then returned by law enforcement. She has not been forthcoming as to who the other individual in the vehicle was. She originally said it was her daughter. The state's understanding that she has since said that it was somebody else. Don't know if this would be considered part of organized criminal activity. Don't have enough information about who that other individual was or what those intentions were. But obviously the nature and circumstances of these offenses are very concerning, very scary, very traumatic for people involved. The defendant does have a juvenile adjudication from 2004 of carrying concealed weapons. As an adult in 2013, she did pretrial diversion for domestic violence. That was dismissed. There appears to be warrant out of Cleveland Municipal Court. She did see Dr. Rinsberg for an evaluation. She indicated to Dr. Rinsberg that this incident had nothing to do with her mental health or any sort of drug and alcohol. She told some officers that he made her a ticking time bomb. However, she's now saying today that it was more hurt than anger. The testing that was done by Dr. Rinsberg indicated there may have been some embellishment, that she endorsed some unusually occurring items, that the testing had to be interpreted with caution, and it can't be used as an objective measure of her true functioning, and that there's a high probability of substance use disorder at some point. So there are concerns of whether the defendant has been forthcoming with what occurred. She had indicated at times that she blacked out or saw black, and then there are other aspects that she can talk about seeing. Clearly, the people who were present saw all the different vehicles being damaged as she drove away, as well as Mr. Babick being hit. There are photographs. I know the court has seen at least one photograph, but all of this was very clear to the individual there. So it seems difficult to understand how an individual can drive from Cleveland Heights to Eastlake, take a car, create all this issue, and then drive all the way back. And there is information that she called Eastlake Police Department, and they told her to come to the police department, and she said she would be there in 20 minutes. but she never arrived. She was also, she never arrived. They had to go to her, locate her, get the vehicle towed back, and at that point she would not provide the key. So there are concerns about her levels of remorse, her level of being forthright and telling the true and honest recollection of what she has of that day. But the fact remains what occurred, what she pled to, felony of the third degree and a felony of the fourth degree, serious offenses. Prison is consistent. She has not been, to the state's knowledge, on any sort of felony probation, so it would not surprise whether this court finds her amenable or not. If she is found amenable, we do feel that additional jail time is appropriate. The consequences are needed in a case that is this severe, and where the consequences to the victim's family were so high and concerning for them. She does have 3 days credit. We would also ask for anger management. The state had hoped that there was a thinking for a change or decision point available for females. The only way to do that, I believe, is through NeoCap. So if the court finds that NeoCap would be appropriate, she could get it through that aspect. Otherwise, we would also recommend a mental health evaluation, since the testing was not as helpful as hoped for Dr. Rinsberg. Individual counseling with a cognitive behavioral therapy. Dr. Rinsberg also recommended psychotherapy and counseling to consult with a psychiatrist. We'd recommend full-time work or school. There was some question about whether if there's a disability involved. If there is, then that should be applied for, but otherwise she should have full-time work or school. We would ask that restitution be made, ordered for DB Motors to go to Mr. Bobick and his business. We ask that she have no contact with DB Motors as well as Drago Bobick and his family, that all costs and fees be ordered, and that she be aware that if she does not follow through on any orders this court gives, that she would be looking at up to 54 months in prison. And that's the state's recommendation at this time.
All right, thank you. I've reviewed the pre-sentence report and the psychological report. I've reviewed the victim impact statement, listened to Mr. and Mrs. Babick, listened to Ms. Jordan, listened to counsel, considered all that. Also considered all aspects of 29-29-11, 29-29-12, and 29-29-13. Your previous record, the only thing indicated beyond the juvenile is a diversion on a domestic violence 10 years ago, so this is the only thing on your record as an adult. So I'm going to find that you are amenable to community control. I'm going to place you on community control for 5 years. You're going to serve 120 days in the Lake County Jail with credit for 3. You're going to have no drugs or alcohol, and you will be subject to screens. You're to obtain a mental health evaluation and follow all recommendations. You're to obtain a drug and alcohol evaluation and follow all recommendations. Obtain and maintain full employment or school, or a combination thereof. We'll order restitution in the amount of $9,659.60 to DB Motors. No contact with the Babick family or DB Motors. And you're going to pay the costs and supervision fees. Ms. Knaus, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
All right. If you do not comply with the terms, then the state will file a motion to terminate your community control. If I find you violated, then I'll terminate you and you face 54 months in prison. If that occurs, then when you get out, you will be on post-release control for at least a year, up to 3 years under the parole authority. They will place conditions on you. If you violate their conditions, they could return you to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my sentence. If it is a new felony, you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for the violation, the maximum of which would be the greater of 12 months of the time they have left under post-release control. It was a deliberative act on your part. You knew that it had been, the car had been repossessed, and you went there with the clear intent of taking that car back, despite the fact that you told Mr. Babick you just wanted to get some things out of the car. And then you damaged 2 other vehicles to get that car loose, and then you hit him. And your version that he jumped in front of your car is contrary to the other witness versions. So it's not credible. So that's what occurred. That's your penalty for what occurred. Is there anything further?
Your Honor, would the community control be concurrent on both counts?
Yep.
And just to make sure I got the right amount, $9,659.60.